please come forward to the microphone, state your name and address for the record so that the clerk can keep our records. Thank you. Mr. Thilly, I started your time.
You want to see me do the backspin? You know, like the backspin? Watch this. $400 on an average assessed home. Why did our taxes go up so much?
Thank you, Mr. Thilly. I like the interpretive dance.
Well, hello there, partner. Go on and hang up your hat, grab yourself a whiskey, and pull up in the easy chair. We're coming off the range of 9 to 5s with a whole herd of news stories that we've been steaming over like a cow patty in the Texas heat. As they say, the chickens are finally coming home to roost. And we're here to ruffle some feathers and ensure accountability ain't just a concept, it's reality. It's that time where the day's drama casts its longest shadow. So let's light a candle to the chaos of current events, the whirlwind of politics, and the tangled webs of corruption that we find ourselves entwined by. It's time to ramble our way into the twilight. Welcome to Sunset Rants.
Hello there, my friend. Good day to you.
Good evening.
Ready for an interesting night of Sunset Rants, Tuesday edition?
Bro, I can't, first, before, there's going to be so much to say here in a minute, but this guy, I have a feeling that the cold open, or the opening video, the guy break dancing, the old guy, I mean,
I didn't know what to think about that. I was just like, what the fuck?
I think it spoke for itself. He's upset. There's nothing to say. People are just like, stop the taxing already. Stop it. We have five states now that are talking about abolishing property taxes. It's like 4 or 5. It's not nothing, including great state of Ohio and Indiana. I think, or 2 of them. I think Florida's talking about it.
Florida, I think was the first one to start talking about this.
I forget the other others, but it's a thing. It's happening. People are upset about in the headlines this week. They read like a Chappelle skit. Bro.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, we have, in the span of a couple of days, we have black journalists facing potential charges under anti-KKK laws.
I started laughing at that one.
And now we have Ketanji Brown Jackson, black Supreme Court justice, invoking black codes to argue against the Second Amendment. What?
What was the guy's name?
What is this? What timeline are we on? Do I need a Clayton Bigsby for president t-shirt? I need one. I need this. Somebody.
Oh man, Clayton Bigsby, that probably has to be one of the all-time greatest skits of all time.
Bro, let's get on this one.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, start it, brother. Start reading this. You read the thing and I'll rant.
All right, give me 1 second. So Supreme Court skeptical of Hawaii's vampire rule for gun owners.
You know, vampires like you have to invite them in, right? In order for them to be in your house. That was explained to me by production today. I was in uncouth swine. I did not recognize the lore at first, but yes.
Yeah, I was confused.
That's the whole basis of this law is like you have to be given explicit permission. But continue.
Okay. All right, so let's see. Majority of Supreme Court justices indicated Tuesday that Hawaii gun law that limits people carrying firearms onto private property infringes on the constitutionally protected right to bear arms. The measure has been dubbed the vampire rule because, as the fictional creatures in folktales and the novel Dracula, it requires people with concealed permits to seek permission before they enter property. Well, that kind of just completely invalidates the entire thing of a concealed carry.
Look,
Um,
look. Yeah, go ahead.
Members of the court's 6-3 conservative majority, who regularly back gun rights, suggested during oral argument that the requirement violates the Constitution's Second Amendment right to bear arms. You were just regulating the Second Amendment to second-class status. Conservative Justice Samuel Alito told Hawaii lawyer Neil Katyal. Justice Brett Kavanaugh, another conservative, said it was pretty simple. It was a pretty simple case because as required under recent Supreme Court precedent, Hawaii could not show there was a significant history and tradition of similar laws curbing gun rights. The conservative justice did not appear interested in Hawaii's focus on private property rights, with Justice John Roberts making a comparison with hypothetical laws that might restrict free speech under the First Amendment on private property. There is, for example, a clear constitutional right under the First Amendment for political candidates to be able to knock on someone's door, but you say that it's different when it comes to the Second Amendment. So, Kaido, what exactly is the basis for this distinction?
I think that was kind of a rhetorical question right there.
Yeah. Should I keep going or?
Yeah, well, let's see here. So, go ahead. This is pretty short. Go ahead. We'll hit up on it.
All right.
Although most states, the law assumes that people can enter private properties while armed if they have concealed permits. Several states have joined Hawaii in flipping that rule. Others are New York, New Jersey, Maryland, and California. The Hawaii measure enacted in 23 is part of a broader gun law, concerns a host of private properties that are generally open to the public, such as gas stations, stores, and restaurants. Lower courts have partially blocked other provisions of the law that impose different restrictions on whether people can take guns, on where people can take guns. So basically, it's like if I have like if there's a church or a convenience store or a grocery store, like all these places where people just do normal life, where there's foot traffic from the public. They're trying to say, oh, you have to ask them. They're basically imposing duty to notify on the public for each
But
other.
it goes against the Constitution. It's the right to bear, not the right to ask first.
Well, it's more actually it's more of a Fifth Amendment violation, or a Fourth Amendment and a Fifth Amendment violation to some degree.
See where you're going with
It's
that?
not really a Fourth Amendment because no one's searching and seizing, but it is a Fifth Amendment where what if you're carrying a firearm and you're at a gas station and someone is, because there are law-abiding citizens that would obviously ask the question, hey, can I have my firearm here? And then you're gonna have some Karen behind the counter go, oh, by the way, yeah, you're fine, and then call up the police and be like, got a guy with a gun.
Yeah,
You're wearing a
it's
Trump shirt.
incriminating.
You know,
like
you're
you
just
can,
asking for
you might be
problems.
allowed to have the gun, but it's still like the whole point of having concealed, or one of the points, is concealed. Like anonymity.
Oh, so yeah, they but here's what's interesting. Brian, oh, he's out. So we didn't have talked about Kajanji Brown Jackson yet. Producer Brian found this clip that is an absolute fire clip of this chick. I mean, I can pull this up. I can do things too. Look at me. I can be a producer too, I think. If I can share in this and share. There we go. If you can bring mine up, I got it there, Brian. Nope. You can bring this one. There we go. You have to see if my audio works.
Justice Jackson?
So I guess I really don't understand
My
the
audio's coming
response to
through?
Justice Gorsuch on the black codes. I mean, I thought the black
Is my audio working on that? Nobody gonna answer me? Am I on
I heard
island?
it.
Oh, you did. Okay, I was asking,
Yes,
is
I'm
my
on
audio working?
That's
Okay.
fine.
Justice Jackson?
So I guess I really don't understand your response to Justice Gorsuch on the black codes. I mean, I thought the black codes were being offered here under the Bruin test to determine the constitutionality of this regulation. And it's because we have a test that asks us to look at the history and tradition. The fact that the black codes were at some later point determined themselves to be unconstitutional doesn't seem to me to be relevant to the assessment that Bruin is asking us to make. So can you say more about that?
Absolutely. Black codes were unconstitutional from the moment of their inception because they are pretextual laws that are designed to ensure that newly freed slaves are returned to a condition of sharecropping.
Okay, let me stop you there. They were not deemed unconstitutional at the time that they were enacted. They were part of the history and tradition of the country. And when we have a test now that's asking us to look at what people were doing back then, I don't understand why they should be excluded.
Because they are outliers. They are by definition unconstitutional. They have always
Found
been
later,
unconstitutional.
afterwards, not at the time. And if the test says what's happening at the time tells us what's constitutional for this purpose, why aren't they in?
Respectfully, a law is always unconstitutional. When it's from its inception,
So the history doesn't matter. We shouldn't
No.
care about the history then.
we should deeply care about the history, but the whole point of the Bruin framework is as follows. The history and tradition of the Second Amendment are particularly important because it is codifying a pre-existing right. To figure out in sort of common law fashion what the national history and tradition are, you throw out outliers. And I can think of no greater outlier than blatantly unconstitutional laws that flipped what had been the tradition in states like Louisiana. And during the period before those states were readmitted to the Union, for the purpose of trying to reduce newly freed slaves back to conditions of servitude, made it a new crime, new trespass in order to go about armed on private property. Those are obvious outliers.
All right,
That should not count under the whole point of Bruin.
Mr. Katyal.
Ooh.
Did you catch that? Did you catch that?
Got a few things there.
Okay, so we'll give you the simple, the easy version of all of that, because that's actually one of the easier, oral arguments I've heard to actually get a hold of. I want to see the chat while we're talking here if there's anybody in it, because the when
What up, everyone?
when Jackson jumps on her on this lady for what was her name again? Sarah Harris. She's the U.S. Principal Deputy Solicitor General. She's a U.S. attorney, right? So she's saying that Sarah's trying to describe that when a law is deemed unconstitutional, we assume its unconstitutionality from its inception, not that it was deemed unconstitutional from its inception. Not at its inception. So Katanji is twisting what she's saying.
Well, I can assume that one right off the rip.
Right.
So.
So that's strike number one. Strike number two is the fact that once we deem a law unconstitutional, we strike it from being able to be used again. It's like taking a card out of the stack.
Yeah.
You can no longer use this for future argumentation. Only in the case of going, well, this was deemed unconstitutional for these reasons, and so we're going to compare it to this other thing that we think fits this same model. Instead, she's trying to flip it in a way and say, she's not saying that these are constitutional. She explicitly says that. But what she's trying to do is pick apart the Bruin test. And the Bruin test is history and tradition. It's a two-part. So it has to both be in the history and in the constitutional tradition.
So it makes sense why it's on.
Right. Like, And in the tradition of our Constitution, we have deemed things unconstitutional. So why are we trying to go back like that, Ms. Ketanji Brown Jackson? It's just retarded. It's an absolutely retarded thing that it collapses upon itself. Black codes were violatory of human rights. She's trying to invoke them to get her position in, and I don't even know why. I don't even know why it was a 6-3. It should have been a decision. It should have been even farther than that.
I'm just more questioning why she would have that mindset, even if it was something like this. Like, do you think that she truly does it, or is it just because it goes against because it's the opposite? Like, it's team red and I'm team blue, so I have to naturally oppose this, even though I can see myself shooting myself in the foot. No pun intended.
It's a wild thing, and the only thing I can think of is what it kind of comes down to a I had it earlier. I didn't even put it in my notes. I should have put this in my notes on it. But it's wild. Like, you have these unconstitutional laws trying to. So let's play it the other way. If unconstitutional laws count as precedent, Jim Crow defines equality. Sedition Acts define free speech. The KKK gets to explain due process. Like,
funny how that starts to work out that way once you let everything else bend the way.
That's what her argument is. Her argument is all of history. Well, if that's the case, then every time the government abuses people, it just becomes a record of abuse, not a control against abuse. It's not a protection anymore. She's literally arguing something that would dismantle the very purpose for the Constitution. Like, let's get it together, people.
She's retarded.
She's retarded. And I have lost brain cells having to think about that mental gymnastics that she did. Carry on. Next.
What else we got from there? Keep finishing this, or?
No, this one's done. This one's cooked.
Okay.
Let's go to the next one.
What do we got next?
DOJ subpoenas Walls, Ellison, Frey, and Minnesota officials in a probe alleging immigration obstruction, sources say.
Yeah. So the Justice Department on Tuesday served subpoenas to the offices of multiple Democratic officials in Minnesota, including Governor Tim Walz, Attorney General Keith Ellison, and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey. I can't say that. Everyone else was super nice. Joking. In connection with the probe into an alleged conspiracy to impede federal immigration officers, 3 sources familiar with the matter told CBS News. The subpoenas represent a significant escalation between the Justice Department and the Minnesota officials who have clashed over the Trump administration's intense crackdown against immigrants living in the state illegally. They were served the same day that Attorney General Pam Bondi arrived for the visit in Minnesota, multiple sources told CBS. Subpoenas were sent in connection with the Justice Department investigation into state and local officials to see if they have conspired to impede federal officers from discharging their duties, sources said. The Justice Department did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Copy of subpoena seen by CBS does not specify which criminal violations the department is probing. However, multiple sources previously told CBS the primary statute being used as the basis for the probe is 18 U.S.C. 372. Oh yeah, that one. We know it right off the rip. Super common. The same one that was
18
used.
USC has been used all over all of this lately.
Say what?
18 USC has been over all over all of this immigration stuff.
Yeah.
And on top of all kinds of other stuff too.
So same one used against some of the rioters who stormed U.S. Capitol January 6, 2021, including members of the far-right, Oath Keepers, and the Proud Boys. Mr. Trump granted clemency to the more than 1,500 people who were convicted of crimes in connection with the Capitol riot during his first day in office 1 year ago. Earlier this month, the Department of Homeland Security staged a massive deployment of federal immigration agents to the Minneapolis region. saying they would be tasked with arresting people suspected of being in the U.S. illegally and proving allegations of fraud. In total, roughly 3,000 immigration and customs enforcement officers and border patrol agents have been dispatched to the Twin Cities, a force that is nearly 5 times the size of the Minneapolis Police Department, which employs about 600 officers. The high-profile federal
Yeah, we
deployment
pretty
has-
much know the rest of that story. We've been over all of the. They're just now giving us details in
That's
the
just
middle.
a
This is all filler for CBS to state their position. Let's scroll down a little bit, see if there's some buried leads in here. Protested confrontations. Renee Good being shot. Let's see. Wall's office confirms that it did get the subpoena. There's some more stuff on it. But he said, Wall said Minnesota would not be drawn into political theater. Ooh, it's a partisan distraction. Ooh, he's just playing games now. Saying that Minnesotans are more concerned with safety than peace. Baseless legal tactics. It just seems a lot more of the dog and pony show. I don't know if you see anything else down there.
Non-impunity investigation is not done by words, it's done by actions, and they all are doing is criminalizing the policy of a president. If that says Gene Rossi. Entire country should subject to country.
They're making this seem to be like Minnesota is on like lockdown. Like Trump has just sent troops in to do like, it's not like they're keeping curfews. It's not like they're in there, you know, telling people they can't be out and go to their business and do things. They're just claiming things. They're just saying stuff because they don't like the fact that the law is being enforced at the federal level.
Well,
That's really what this is.
It puts a negative connotation, like it puts negative visuals, you know, like on the president. And then the president just went and like, you know, reclaimed, what's it called? Venezuela, got Maduro and all that stuff. And so that makes him look good and badass. So they're just taking the visuals off of him and just putting it somewhere else. Like there's nothing really bad going on. Well, I mean, obviously, like, you know, the fraud is outrageous. You know, the immigration is outrageous, but it's nothing really different than anything else. It's the same stuff that like we had voted for, like last year.
Okay, here's some good info. It's kind of down at the bottom, right before you get to the more from CBS. That they talked to the county spokespeople talking about, you know, and they said, well, the county's not received anything, but the Hennepin County, let's see, somebody at the county did. It's like their attorney's office. It says neither the county attorney Mary Moriarty nor the Hennepin County Attorney's Office was served with a subpoena, but Hennepin County, whose county seat is in Minneapolis, was served with a subpoena. Which just sounds, I don't know, this article's not written well. The Civil Division of the Hennepin County Attorney's Office represents Hennepin County legal matters and will be advising the county on the subpoena. Okay, so they're not subpoenaing their legal counsel, they're just subpoenaing the county seat
They're just like,
in
hey,
general.
give us the paperwork.
It asked for 8 categories of documents, including all records and communications issued by the office since January 1 related to federal immigration enforcement in Minnesota, any communications related to the lack of cooperation with federal immigration enforcement, and any directives issued to Minnesota residents concerning their interactions with immigration officers. Legal experts remain skeptical. The Justice Department has enough evidence to secure any indictments. So they're like, we want to know what you're talking about. We want your comms. They're asking for comms. They want them.
See what they say. I mean, that's pretty fair.
It says a grand jury subpoena should not be issued to an individual who is merely exercising their First Amendment rights, said Gene Rossi, a former federal prosecutor who is now attorney at Carlton Field. So that's not legally protected speech. Sorry, you're the government.
Yeah, whatever.
So shut up. Like let's just
That
let's
is
just
not
be,
protected, yeah.
No, it is not protected speech. You
You're working on
have a
that.
job to do. Come on. This is dumb. What's going down? What's going down in the chats? Good evening. Rebel with no yell. Jennifer
Don't mind me
Presley.
tomorrow, first day in 12 days, and I'm drunk. Jen.
I was sipping a little myself responsibly here. I needed a little social lubricant in my evening.
None for me today.
Just a little bit. I'm not going nowhere. I'm being responsible. My mouth isn't sinking. My lips aren't sinking ships yet, so we're good. It's good to have a day off. It's been crazy. Yeah. Well, we've had lots of snow days up here in the Midwest.
Oh, you guys are about to get fucked tomorrow.
Dude, it's like 12 degrees. I don't even know what it is right now.
Is it tomorrow
Cold?
or Thursday? You guys are supposed to insane storm.
Woof. Yeah, we're supposed to get nailed. I'm okay with it though. I like the snow. I do have to go to the office in the morning though. Anywho, sir. We're gonna talk about something else, and then we're gonna end up talking about Minnesota again at some point. But at first, let's go to Davos. This is great. I got you here. We haven't talked about the spooky dude in a while. We haven't talked about the WEF, World Economic Forum, and all that. But Trump's Board of Peace faces headwinds from allies as mandate appears broader than Gaza. ABC News. This board was originally built as a council to oversee the rebuilding of Gaza. So Trump is expected to hold a formal signing ceremony to constitute his highly anticipated Gaza Board of Peace as early as Thursday while he attends the WEF forum in Davos, Switzerland. So ABC reached out to the White House. Trump announced on Friday that he would oversee the rebuilding and reconstruction of the devastated Gaza Strip. Why do I have a picture of a giant golden hotel on the coastline of there? Anyway, the charter draft circulated online makes no direct mention of the region, including a muted, cautious reaction from government officials who believe Trump's board may have loftier ambitions. Loft, like, you know. Trump, who is chair of the board, said in a post on Truth Social last week that it will be quote the greatest and most prestigious board ever assembled at any time. And he's just leaning into these now. I don't think he's really that self-absorbed. I think he just understands the joke, and he's just a parody of himself.
He knows what it is.
He's just a parody of himself at this point. Several countries said they received invitations to join the board in recent days. Argentina, Belarus, Canada, Austria, Egypt, Hungary, Pakistan, Jordan, Turkey, Israel, and India. Though the countries' respective leaders largely appear reluctant to make public statements. Kremlin on Monday said that Russian President Vladimir Putin had also received an invitation. That's what I like. Like he's not excluding anybody, like especially when it comes to Putin and them. It's like, hey, you want to be involved, come be involved. The door is still open for Russia. I'm just saying. Still open for Russia.
It's like,
I appreciate that about Trump.
It's like just because you're fighting with someone else doesn't mean you can't get along with the other kids in the room.
Right. Just because we disagree over here doesn't mean we can't talk about this over there. So it says Moscow is studying all the details of the proposal and hopes to contact Washington to clarify the nuances, Dmitry Peskov said. U.S. expected to announce the official list of members in coming days, and the copy of the charter draft posted online by the Times of Israel signals the Board of Peace may have a much broader mandate than was first publicized. Some officials speculating that Trump has more ambitious goals than rebuilding Gaza, looking to build a U.S.-led alternative to the United Nations aimed at resolving conflicts globally. Ew. According to the charter, the board is an international organization that seeks to promote stability, restore dependable and lawful governance, and secure enduring peace in areas affected and threatened by conflict. Wasn't there an Operation Enduring Peace? Wasn't there like Enduring Freedom, Enduring Peace, all that? Wasn't that what those were called when we went into the last 20 some years of war after 9/11? I can't. Brian's trying to talk to us, and I can't hear him for some reason. I see him back there. We need our downrange expert on this one. There he
Operation
is.
Enduring Freedom.
I wasn't. Yeah. And I almost thought that there was one after they wanted to call it Enduring Peace or something or Stability, but I don't think it ever.
Honestly,
came to that.
it's like a fever. It's like a fever memory for me. So it's like I couldn't even like.
Right. So Charter
Maybe
asserts
just
the need
back
for
up.
more nimble and effective international peace-building body, calls for a coalition of willing states committed to practical cooperation and effective action. Ireland's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Helen McEntee, issued a statement Sunday warning that the body proposed by Trump would have a mandate wider than the implementation of a Gaza peace plan. Yeah. So there's a bunch of stuff in here. I'm going to continue to scroll down. This other United Nations has a unique mandate to maintain international peace and security. So that the rest of this seems like they're trying to like defend the UN. Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk said that Poland would require permission to join the international organization from its Council of Ministers and ratification by its lower chamber and legislature. He warned, "We will not let anyone play us." Poland is based. I don't think we'll have a problem with Poland. Some European leaders are mulling about not joining the board, risking Trump's ire during an unstable period of escalated global conflict as the U.S. president continues to stoke tensions over the Danish territory of Greenland. So all of this stuff is on table. It's like, look, you guys, we can all come to the table. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, but we can come to the table.
You know,
You
the
wanna
only
talk?
problem with something so broad is it's because you're gonna have, even though you're gonna have the leaders of these countries agreed to, like, you know what, yes, for the betterment of us, it's like, you know, go forward individually and us as a team, as a group, let's do it. But you're gonna have these little factions within these countries, and these little factions won't represent the people, like won't represent the country from internally, but you know, if these little factions attack another country or another, you know, someone else who's supposed to be playing nice,
I can
now
see the
these
meme.
factions represent. Now these factions represent.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Executive committee that would oversee the Board of Peace would include former British Prime Minister Tony Blair, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, and U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Rubio. He's going to solve all the world's problems. He's going to run every country. Just wait. Marco Rubio becomes the emperor of the earth. He's now president of Earth. Oh, this is redonkulous. He's gonna Trump, you're gonna have to give him a break. This guy's gonna need a vacation. He's gonna need a staycation. Like you can't make him do everything. Like this is funny. That's just hilarious. Yeah, but what we did was we just left a whole bunch of like 66 different treaties, just wiped them out. 15 of them that we talked about last week before, were all that had to do with different kinds of arms and not arms, defense type of situations and information and stuff. Majority of them were just like bullcrap. They didn't have anything to do with anything. They were treaties to say we have treaties.
Just to facilitate the fact, yeah.
And that, yeah, but you're right. I think something broad like this may be a bit out over the skis. But do you think maybe it's a big ask? You know, Trump's out here shaking everything up, and then he says, "Well, we all come to this table. Everyone seems to be interested in Gaza. Why don't we all come to this table here? Let's make our own. Let's all talk about it ourselves." And just this UN thing that constantly keeps getting in the way of all the stuff. Why don't we just, all of us that are the big boys in the room, let's actually play ball and let's go start our own club with maybe not hookers, blackjack.
Yeah. Definitely. I still think it's going to come back down to something like what I said. Because remember what it was? Was it Cambodia? Was it Thailand and India, or China and India, or Cambodia and Thailand? I don't know. There's some stuff, and then they were at it, and then they're like, "Oh, we're not at it anymore." It's like they had some peace treaty done by Trump. 3 days later, some small wild faction did something, and then the other team was like, all right, one shot against the other team again.
You mean like
And then just,
Gaza, because that's kind of like the analog between Hamas and Israel, Gaza and Israel, right?
yeah, but it would be, I think it was like Thailand and Cambodia or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
I believe it was. And then, well, let's look at the other things, like the Abraham Accords. You know, Trump got a whole bunch of Arab nations to all chill out. You know, at one point, I don't think he's going into this without some background. He's got Jared Kushner in there, as much as, you can criticize dude and things and some of the Saudi things and whatnot. I mean, it's not like he doesn't have ties in here to be able to try to do something.
Mhm.
We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see. Many a men has lost their way in the Middle East trying to deal with this peace thing.
I don't think. I mean, as much as I'd love to see it, this is like the bajillionth attempt again. So, if it happens, phenomenal. That'd be great. I just don't think anything's gonna happen with it.
If the intent is to put a Trump tower, a big golden Trump tower somewhere on that coastline in Gaza, I just know that he's not going to let warlords run that strip. It's not going to happen. It's just not. It would be nice if that didn't look like Syria. It'd be nice if Syria didn't look like Syria either. Damascus is absolutely a rubble heap too.
It's a shithole. I'm not putting my gold near any shit.
I mean, look at what our government did and their governments did, and there's the back ends and the stuff and the things and all of the. It's just been a mess. The Middle East is such a bad place to be, just to live.
Yeah.
In many in very concentrated time frames, it is.
In almost any way, I've never been like. I don't think any time in my life I've actually I would like to live in the Middle East.
I'd like to go sometime when people aren't yucking high explosive stuff back and forth at each other. And here's the other thing that's weird too, is about when they talk about the Israeli issues with Arabs, Israelis and Arabs and Christian, like Jews, Christians, and Muslims in certain areas don't actually have problems with each other. There's more peace in local neighborhoods. What's the other one? That's like the Golan Heights. Is that the other one? That's like the walled off area in Israel. It's not really walled off, but it's like a neighborhood.
Well, technically they all are. They were at least.
Like there's
different.
sections.
There's quadrants. There's 4 quadrants.
I was listening to a professor give a talk, or he was talking this massive room of I say kids, but college age adults, and there were some people, there were some of these youngins that were in there. I say youngins because I'm gonna be 39 soon, so they were very much spouting that line about Israel being the bad guys and things with Gaza and different places. And this professor was saying, do you even know anybody that lives over there? It's like, I know professors that live there. I know other people. Now this is his take, not mine, but there's this nuance thing of people that live in certain areas that are Jewish and Christian and Muslim or Arab or non-affiliation. Many of these communities lived together for long periods of time just fine by themselves. That they do not like all the fighting, and these global optics and politics make it very difficult for them to continue to just be what they are, because we have such a wildly different view. It's just like our politics here. I know people that are lefties. I know people that are righties. I know people that don't even know what they are, but I live close to them. I go to my kids in sports, and I know some other parents. I know coaching staff. I know these different all those normal things you do. I know some of my neighbors here that probably have different takes on politics than me, but we get along. We're not shooting across the street.
It's like, just because it's a problem doesn't mean it's everybody's problem.
So
Yeah, like that could be happening all that on a strip. Cool, perfect. Well, not cool, you're perfect. Excuse me.
anyway, I don't want to poo poo on this. I do hope the best for it. I think the old world, the old hat conventions are dry and tried, and they are found wanting. And I hope Trump can do something with this, just as much as I hope he can do something with these Minnesota people. I don't know why we just put these two back to back, but I guess we got to come back to the DOJ subpoenaing. Is it more of this? Is this the? Or we'd already talked to that about that one. Why do my notes have that? It's the local folks. It's the other one. This is this is what we always talking about at the beginning. The protesters in Minnesota. I think this is a Fox News one. Biden's. Wait, is this the right thing? Why are my notes all goofy? I don't know. Just put something on screen. I'll read it. Oh, it is the same one. Okay, cool. It is. I was right. I'll get this one. So Biden's push to revive Ted Kennedy era law now haunts the Democrats as charges loom in Minnesota church riot. I don't know if it was a riot in the church, but it was definitely disruptive. So the Biden administration resurrected a 1994 law against obstructing abortion clinics and or religious worship to prosecute protesters. But now the conservatives are seeking that same policy to be applied after leftist agitators crashed a Minneapolis church service. The FACE Act, drafted by the late Senator Edward Kennedy, the Democrat of Massachusetts, noted Catholic, a noted Catholic. I'm trying to read too fast. He signed the former President Bill. He signed by. I'm going to reset my brain. I can't do it. Reset. Okay. The FACE Act, drafted by the late Senator Edward Kennedy, Democrat of Massachusetts, a noted Catholic, signed by former President Bill Clinton. That's a mouthful, Fox. Get it together. It prohibits intentionally injuring or intimidating people seeking, quote, reproductive care services, and also has a section protecting people, quote, exercising religious freedom at a place of religious worship. Clinton also used his remarks signing the law to introduce his oft-cited view that abortion should be safe, legal, and rare. Blah. Enacting this bill to provide freedom of access to clinics has been a priority because protecting the freedoms of our citizens is surely chief among the responsibilities of the President of the United States. Okay, I don't need to read all of the things about it. We get it. This was a bill that was meant to do two things: keep people getting into their churches and keep people being able to get into abortion clinics. I feel like this bill was written in such a way where, because church people were protesting abortion clinics.
I think it's just an easy way just to make it an even playing field for everybody. Like,
Right. It's like, okay, children, neither of you go touch each other's things. Stay away. That's basically how that world.
It's like what's it called? It's like in John Wick with the Continental. Is like,
right.
No violence here.
But people on Facebook were saying that this is fake news, blah blah blah. No, dude. No, like it's actually being investigated. I don't know if you've seen the clips of Don Lemon passing out coffee and donuts to these people, and then inside the church trying to act like a journalist when he obviously knew about this thing going into it. But we're gonna have it's a joke. It's like I said before. It's like Clayton Bigsby out here. But he's getting charged. These people are getting charged with anti-KKK type thing. So the KKK law was a little bit different. It's let me see, what was the KKK law act? It's like it's a nickname for it. It wasn't actually it, but it's something similar. Yeah. But the Biden DOJ and previous administrations consistently, and especially the Biden DOJ, went out of their way to go and arrest Christians that were praying at abortion clinics. Now, there was one sit-in where they went in the clinic and they sat down and it was like, okay, nobody can get around and do anything. Okay, I get the law against being able to go in and fully disrupt everything, but like you should be able to be in the vicinity of, in some way, shape, or form, and protest something from a public view. Okay, so anti-KKK law typically refers to Ku Klux Klan Act of 1871, Enforcement Act, Reconstruction era law that made a federal crime for private individuals, including Klan members, to conspire. Yeah, that works. To deprive citizens of constitutional rights. So basically, yeah, Clinton didn't really have to do much with the FACE Act because it was already there. It was already a precedent for it. It was more of just they upped the ante. They added or included abortion clinics to that reasoning and whatnot. So,
but it's funny the fact that this guy's getting. We were saying this earlier. That the Klan law, whatever it was.
Yeah,
Don Lemon and all this.
they went into a church, a whole mob of people, scaring. Just when church services usually, unless you're in certain circles of charismatic or some black churches, where things are a little loud, and at least during a portion of the service, maybe at the beginning, got music going on. Some people are a little more contemporary than others. I prefer the quiet church. And then towards the end, generally, sometimes there'll be an out music type thing.
Yeah.
Some churches, the organist never leaves the stage and they hoop it the whole time while the preacher's preaching. That's not what this service was. This was a Southern Baptist Convention, SBC church that does very traditional services. They go in, it's basically like a cathedral, not a huge cathedral, and you get a bunch of people in there just shouting it down. You can't hear the service. You can't, because worship is end to end. Your worship on a Sunday is you get up in the morning, put your clothes on, you go to church, you hear the preaching of the word, you sing songs and spiritual songs to preach, to teach one another, encourage one another, pray for one another, end to end. And then at the end, when the benediction hits and the end prayer and everyone's dismissed, church is over. It's one thing. They completely ruined that whole thing. Walking in, we're gonna disrupt their service. That is an obvious violation of somebody else's constitutional freedoms. I hope people catch charges for it. Personally,
it's got to be a main example, because if you don't do this, it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, it has to be equal. If it doesn't happen, then that's then how do you? But then again, how do you sue the Supreme Court for a 14th Amendment violation or whatever, right? Because that's equal treatment under the law. You will, stay on your stay. You guys go if you want to go do all of your things. Do your things. Don't go messing with the churches. Don't go messing with churches. We don't go messing with your mosques. We're not allowed to go basically do anything about abortion clinics other than
because we're not allowed to.
That's it. So the law is what it is. Clayton Bigsby. I want a Clayton Bigsby 2028 shirt or 2026. Somebody make it. Want to put Don Lemon and Ketanji Brown Jackson's faces on it. Anyway.
Speaking of fires, what's it called? I just got a notification. Estimated 25 mosques in Iran had been set on fire.
Oh, they're absolutely done. Those people were not. Wow. Yeah. I think Iran's upside down right now.
Good.
Hopefully for better. Hopefully for better. A lot of times there's a power vacuum and bad people will move in.
That's exactly why. Why power vacuums lead to more stuff. So
let me find my spot in my notes. Oh, something different. Let's get something different. How's that? You got time for the different, or do we need to go to the end? We've been missing the last segment and having to head right to the caption this. Scripps Memorial Hospital, La Jolla receives Astronauts after splashdown. I guess these guys got homesick.
No,
They were
wasn't it
sick.
like some freak? No, it was like some freak thing, like some like medical.
Yeah, they had a medical emergency. I wonder what it was.
Like they couldn't explain it. There's a freak medical emergency. We got to do like emergency
San
back.
Diego Union Tribune. Scripps Health disclosed. Oh, I got. You got so many pop-ups. So many pop-ups. Only available to subscribers for me. Anyway, I want to read it off the screen for. Because Brian's got it. Scripps Health disclosed Monday that its hospital in La Jolla received 2 helicopters, each carrying 2 astronauts. Early Thursday, shortly after the SpaceX Dragon Endeavour craft returned to Earth about 1 month earlier than scheduled due to one of its crew suffering an undisclosed medical concern. Officials said in a subsequent news conference that while the situation was stable, the call was made to cut the mission short given the bulk of its activities, including more than 850 hours of scientific studies. The incident was the first time in history of the International Space Station that a crew returned to Earth earlier than planned due to medical issues. Oh, let's see. Oh. Okay, so they're playing. So they have a protocol for this, even though they've never had to use it.
I'm sure that like for something like this, there has to be a contingency plan. Though.
Oh yeah. They started making preparations for the possibility when NASA and SpaceX started using the Pacific off the West Coast as future landing sites. The splashdown marks the first time the West Coast Hospital provided care for astronauts who had just returned from space. So yeah, they stayed at the hospital overnight before returning to Johnson Space Center. Well, we're glad they're home safe.
Yeah, because I remember the last time there was an issue, we had SpaceX bring them down, which was pretty awesome that it was done. But it's like shit, these people have been here for like a year or something. Like at that point, you start to have like medical issues.
Yeah, there's a certain limit on how long it can stay up there. Heck, the space
Muscles.
station only has so long that it can stay up there. My son was telling me in the car today. He said, "Did you know that in 2030 they're going to crash the space station into the ocean?" I was like, "That makes sense. It's going to be more expensive for them to push it back up into a proper
That's
orbit
exactly why.
than it will to just ditch it." I guess it's called the Nemo point, which is the farthest point Nemo. It's the farthest from any landmass.
Yeah, that point in the ocean is actually it's further from any landmass than it would be from the actual International Space Station. Like you're closer to outer space than you are to any other human.
Wow, that's awesome. Jen Presley in the chat down here. They got the space herpes.
Space herpes.
Yep, this is the untold beginning of the end of man. Next thing you know, there's going to be reports of monsters devouring people in Southern California. Oh wait, the woke already did that. Sorry.
I was thinking PCP.
Oh, the cutting room floor article was supposedly about growing super bacteria in space. Woo! We'll talk about that. Maybe we'll save that one for later. We'll just leave that as a cliffhanger for everybody.
Hell yeah.
Oh man.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's cool that we're able to do it.
Yeah. You know, it's they go. It's a wonder that they've never had to. I wonder if there are any other historical points where people got sick in space and had to come back, because they usually like isolate people. Yeah, we think it's the first time because usually they isolate astronauts and
Sure,
they're
there has been.
vaccinated and they're healthy and they're not around anybody. They stay in like clean room environments for a certain amount of time to make sure they
And
don't
low
have
impact.
anything.
So it's like, it's low impact everywhere. So it's not like, you're banging around. And then if you are banging around, you can just split it. You don't have to worry about moving, creating
Yeah.
more trauma. But you ready to close it out?
Let's see what AI has for us this evening.
Well, this is an interesting one. So, y'all know what time it is. It is caption this. We get a random generated photo off the internet from AI that is made, and we just make something good, make something bad, make a meme out of it. Could end up on a shirt. Check out our merch. We got other things going on with it. Lots of fun stuff.
Wow. You can tell that it doesn't, like, the AI doesn't really know how to fit the feet with the shoes at first. Like, at first you're like, ooh, that,
Oh yeah, I see
dig
that.
that. But then it goes, then you get a second look at it. Ooh, I'm not afraid of AI. I can spot the slop. That could be a segment, spot the slop. Like, what's broken?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we could really work on something and go with it and be like, hey, we spent some time getting working on some of these, and we found the slop, and this is a really good one. But can you spot the slop? Be like, where's Waldo for AI?
Not like that. Like
Be
bonus
fun. All right, I have one in my head, but I want to see what the Chizat has to say. I saw Brian chuckle rucking. Okay. Tim Pool's new friend, Trichosaurus, Raptor Skater, new evolution from California. Could be
Let's see.
Tim Pool's new co-host. You like my coleslaw shirt? It's French. It's it says coleslaw on the shirt.
I was like, what is he
Weird. Skater boy. I'll tell you what, skateboarding sure has evolved. We have Blind Skate 89 in there.
That's me.
Okay, I get it, Blind. I see what you did. They spelled it wrong. How about a little background? Well, a little Muzak on the back end of this. What do we have in here? While we're trying to do things. Dino, no skating. Eat too much greens on this vegan diet, make my skin. Oh, too much greens on this vegan diet make my skin green. So good for you. How about skating's not a crime? Let's see it. Let's see this again. I gotta look at it. Let's see. Can I? So the instant win condition is generally guess the prompt. If you can't come up with one, just try to guess. Probably not too. It's probably not too hard.
I got nothing.
All right. We'll think.
That's what I got.
Is this what happens when you miss leg day for 65 million years? I don't know. That's what I said. I don't know. Velociraptors pretty good legs. Usually skaters have good legs. I thought he missed arm day. Yeah.
What are you thinking?
When you when giant meteor hits when giant meteor hits Earth, but you slept in.
Was that what you're choosing?
That's what that was one I can put that one in.
I don't know. I'm bad when I'm always like bad when it comes to this. I always let you choose.
Skating's not extinct. It's only endangered.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk's great grand dino.
Nah. Womp womp.
Birds are dinosaurs. Well, birds are dinosaurs. So should it be let's see.
So what are you thinking?
Oh shoot. Probably maybe Trichosaurus.
I like that one.
Trichosaurus. I'm bad at these. We have a small pool. Haha.
No, I mean you're not wrong.
Yeah, Trichosaurus. I'm cool with Trichosaurus.
Works for me.
It makes sense.
I'm cool with it. So you
Cool.
ready to
Okay.
stop this popsicle stand?
Yeah, I think we're fading, we're waning, and we gotta get off of this for the next thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's another show coming up. What is it at the drive-in now, right?
I believe so. It's coming up.
I'm going with that.
Because I know drive-in happens, and I know there's a sports thing that we've done too. So tonight is drive-in. Sports is later in the week. I know AK will be on with you on Thursday.
Yeah, and
And then
then
Friday, yeah, then Friday we're gonna do our Rise of Middle America podcast. We skipped last week because of holidays and travel and schedules and work and all the things.
Oh yeah,
Come
makes
back
sense.
in on Friday. Late stream on Friday. I'm gonna try to stream some video games, maybe some retro games. I've been playing with my emulators lately. Maybe we can just sit and do some open air.
I mean,
Whatever.
I'm down to jump on some.
Some Ark? Play some Ark?
Yeah, not now. I'm going to bed now. I'm tired.
All right. Well then,
But
tell us about did it hit your outro and just
yeah,
get out of here. Get some snoozing.
yeah, I am
Stop
sleepy.
losing.
Yeah, I've been up since like 4 a.m. So, all right, guys. Always a pleasure. Love you guys tons. First time here. Thank you for sticking through it. It's your 1,000th time here. We love you just as much. I am Tate. You can find me on everything at AP2Tate. That'll be in my Instagram, my handle. You can also check out my face and our beautiful faces and everyone else on the team on the QR code. Bring it to our merch, all our stuff from Discord. Come hang out with us, as well as all our separate episodes for everyone for what everybody does. Scrap, you want to close it out? Take it
You
away.
can find me at Scrapjaw everywhere, down there or wherever. Scarecrow, this way or that way, anyway. My name, Scrapjaw, El Presidente.
Perfectly. See you guys on Thursday at 9 Eastern.
So I got to thinking, there's MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. MAGA, Make America Great Again. But what we really need to do is make America follow the Constitution again. Motherfucker. That sounded better in my head.